The kind of sacrifice where it's not a bargain, it's not a deal, it's not a business deal. A lot of people do business with God. Chapter 17 from Bhagavad Gita talks about the divisions of faith. One is in the mode of goodness, one is in the mode of passion, one is in the mode of ignorance. And the mode of passion is like business. You go, yeah, good. I'll scratch your back, man. You scratch mine, and we'll have a good program going on here. You know. It's like, what do I get out of it? You know. But when you actually put something out there, you know, an act of kindness, and you say, I don't want to. You know, at least you feel good. It's such a clean gesture, isn't it? And that's ultimately where we want to go with all of this. With all of this. With the prasadam, what you want to do is go for a cleansing. I had a couple of yoga teachers ask me, so Swami, what do you feel? What is the thing about yoga? What are we trying to ultimately get out of it? And I said, well, it's to get clean. Take your heart and get it really clean. Chitta Darpana Marjana. So that there's no clutter. How can your soul exit and enter into the ultimate world if there's a lot of garbage there? God, in our walks, I see so many people with garbage. And the storage industry is raking a lot of money. These people have so many things. Garbage. And they won't let go. There's many addictions. We've heard about it. We see it every day on the streets. But there's one other addiction that the homeless people don't have. And that is the people who do have. And that addiction is things. Piled up so high and so tight. I remember I had to go through someone's, you know, there was the wall and then there was the wall of things. And I had to go sideways. He says, Prabhu, I'm going to have to walk an extra 6,000 miles to reduce some weight just to get in here so I can go the north. And I actually helped him move his stuff out. The addiction was so strong. So things, you want the clutter to get out. You want to get to a point where there is nothing in the way. And what are those things anyways, if I'm talking more in a subtle way? Well, lust, anger, greed, madness, envy, illusion. Anybody have problems with those things? Anybody got problems with anger? It's okay. How about some lust? Spurts of lust, okay? And it's not that these things are bad, they have their place, but an excess amount is the problem, right? How about greed? Is that a problem? Oh my God. Yeah. So these are the things that we kind of have to work on. And there is a beautiful system called, you know, growing up and maturing. And where in the end, say, I'm getting older, I don't need these things anymore. I don't need to be angry. It doesn't work to be angry. Is that the sign that I should finish? No, sorry. So it gets to this point where you just want to get clean. That's what you want to do, squeaky clean. To the point where, let's say after you've done a shampoo, and I haven't done it for a long time, but when it goes squeaky, squeak, squeak, you know, like that. Or if you've ever had a rasagula, you know, a sweet from Bengal, from the eastern part of India, a rasagula. And the way the test of their what's superlative quality is that when your teeth bites into it, it's almost squeaks. Am I right about that? Yeah. They have this place in Orissa, and the rasgulas are like this, and they're like a little bit of a brown color because they're sweetened by gur, you know, which is like coming originally from the sap of the trees, you know. That's how they sweeten it, turns like a little brown. And they are fantastic. For those who have a sweet tooth especially. And it's almost like squeak when your teeth bites into it. It's like that. So we want to get clean to the point where it makes noise. It was the other day, we were in India, Indiana, Pennsylvania. And we were interviewed by a young woman, I forget her name, is it Amanda? Oh, Brittany. And she was telling her friends, oh, guess what, I'm going to interview a monk. Says, and her friends were saying, what do you mean you're interviewing a monk? Monks don't talk. That's some perception people have. You know? And I said, well, Brittany, that's true. There might be some cloistered monks that don't do that. They don't talk, and they go on their vows of silence. But in our tradition, we make lots of noise. We're always making sounds. You know? So it's our understanding that when there is sound of glory, sound of praise, then that is the sign that everything is very full. Some people, we call it Mayavad, of that school, that particular school, within the yoga realms, they'll say that when everything is full, there's no more sound. And we'll give you an example. Did you ever do this when you were kids? Okay. Say like you take a vase, or you take a bunch of vases like this, and you put it in with different levels of water, volumes of water. And you can blow it and you can make music. This is for you. You can try this out. And you get different pitches, isn't it? You've tried it before?
I think so.
Okay, great. Then you're a normal kid. But then they say, the Mayavadis say, when the water comes to the up to the summit, and there's no more sound, that means you have reached your Buddhahood. But that's not. In Krishna consciousness, in our tradition, we say when the vase is full, you still make sound, and it's a glorious sound. The other day when I was walking from Harrisburg through that burb section, where there's Subway, there's McDonald's, and then there's the malls and all that kind of boring kind of strip, that like parking lot culture where no one walks, And just at the end of it, there was a church. It was a Korean church, Christian church, and they were quoting from the book of Romans: "Whoever shall call upon the name of the Lord, he shall be saved." So from that verse and many other verses, we can quote from the Old Testament, the New Testament. You can quote from the Buddhist sutras. You can go anywhere, all over the place, and they all give credit to sound, sacred sound. They say that's the ultimate in ways of expressing your appreciation and gratitude and your joy. So I did take a photo of that, and some people, they think also that a monk can't have a camera. Well, I do. We even do Instagram. So another interviewer said, "Wait a minute, you're a monk and you have a camera, you have backup with a vehicle, and you're on Facebook, and what kind of a monk are you?" And I said, I'm a monk of the 21st century. And, we utilize everything in God's service. Technology can be used for a higher purpose, to share bhakti, devotion. Anyways, my answer was something like that. I just paraphrased. So it was nice to get those things on the broadcasting waves. So just to draw this to kind of a conclusion, if you will, and then we'll go for some questions if that's what you do. Okay? That is, what is it all about? What's it all about? This. Yeah, devotion, bhakti, service, seva. Seva saves. Seva. S-E-V-A, saves. And who? Well, Krishna, who's Navayovana, he's ever youthful. And also his world. Why can't we serve others and see? Because the point is that you somehow or other have to see that Krishna is in everybody. And especially if you can help someone who's in need. Doesn't mean you have to serve them drugs or serve them alcohol. There's more sattvic or more goodness ways to serve people. We see it like that. When people say namaste, what does it mean? It means you see the God in everybody, right? So to be very fully Krishna conscious means to see Krishna in everything. And when I'm doing my long walks across different lands, and I've done Israel and Ireland, and Guyana. Somebody's from Guyana? Yeah. Anybody from Ireland? Got Irish blood, maybe? If you're from New York, you have to have some Irish blood. Or, you know, some New Yorkers do, right? You know, then, you know, what I mean to say is that everybody, somewhere that we need to see the sacredness behind everything. And chapter 10, the one we're in right now, if you read some of these verses, will help us to see the God in everything. You know? Like, say, a simple thing, I am drinking some water. Krishna says, I am the taste of that water. So when next time you take some water, even if it's in a plastic bottle, still, you can think, this taste is Krishna. Or you go to a cedar tree and you pinch, you know, you smell, this is the scent of Krishna. So it all comes very much alive. Chapter 10. It's a beautiful chapter of seeing Krishna through the sun and through the moon and through a storm even. Does anybody like going through a storm? I love it myself. I love storms. It's fantastic. It's in the middle of a field because it's very humbling. It's very humbling. And you feel very small. You can't do anything to control it. You know? When the weather's nice, you're suddenly the enjoyer. I'm the big shot and King Tut. You know? But when the weather is a little bit challenging, like we do get our winters here in New York that are a little challenging, then it's good. It's actually good. So yeah, I like this. Thanks, Krishna. It was like a heavenly planet. It was like Hawaii. Or I would think maybe I don't need to endeavor. Maybe I don't need to serve anybody. I'm the enjoyer. And that is the biggest disease of all. So thank you very much for listening. And now, you know, on this particular chapter, listening to some of the reasoning behind what Krishna is saying. And I'll give you the verse one more time. Aham sarvasya prabhavo snap it out. Whoa. Aham sarvasya prabhavo vatap sarvam prabhavtati iti ma vapajante ma buddha bhava samanvitaha buddha bhava samanvitaha buddha bhava samanvitaha buddha bhava samanvitaha